the connection to catch up while I hit the button to go live on Twitch. And now I'm just going to wait for Twitch to catch up with me. And of course, make sure all my, that's muted. And this one's not going to be muted, of course. So I'm not, there we go. Oh, that is muted. Amazing. Right, well, I can see myself. I've started off relatively quietly, considering it's me, just because I didn't want to get shouting a bit too early. Right, well, hello, I'm on double cameras again tonight. I hope everybody can hear me, especially you guys on YouTube, because sometimes the sound when I'm using the phone can be a little bit iffy, because one of the microphones doesn't work, and I didn't find out until months after I've been using it. Well, it works, but it doesn't work very well. And hello to you guys on Twitch. I'm duo cameraing again tonight, duo streaming, 2 different streams. It's not the same stream, so I'm switching from one camera to another like a professional. Well, no, I'm not switching from one camera to the other. I'm switching my gaze from one camera to the other, like the consummate professional that I am. Yeah, I've been doing this for a while, but although I haven't been doing the duo streaming for a while, this is only my 2nd time, so be gentle with me or not. Be as rough with me as you like. I can cope with it. Anyway, yes, so basically how this works is that any conversation that happens over on Twitch, I will read out, and you guys on YouTube can join in as well. You can make comments, and any conversation that happens on YouTube will be read out, and people on Twitch can join in if they so want. So that's how I work it. And then it's the only time that I break my don't cross the streams rule, because it's me. It's all me. So, you know, if you're slagging me off on one platform, I'll be reading it out to the other one. Anyway, there's nobody commenting. I was about to say there's nobody commenting on Twitch, so I'll talk to YouTube, and then Jimmy comes in with Jimmy. That is his sound effect over on Twitch. And occasionally you will hear sound effects where people have pressed the buttons over on Twitch. And that's one thing that I do like about Twitch, is that you can have sound effects that people earn channel points, and they can press the buttons and make it happen. And Jimmy's got 2 of his own. So anyway, let's see what is happening over on YouTube. Thank you very much, Jimmy. And Jimmy is the first one on YouTube. Hello. Very, very eager to see me. Hello. How are you? I hope you're doing well. And it's Peter P. Peter P. Peter P. Peter P. It says, good evening, marvellous Matroni. I love Matroni. I love it better than Matron, because Matron sounds stuffy and starched, and while I can play the stuffy starched Matron, I feel Matroni is slightly more exotic. So, mwah, bellissimo. Disinterested Car Girl is here. Says, good evening, Mistress Pretzel. Thank you. And oi, you're early. No, I started early because remember last week I had the problems with the pressing the buttons, and Twitch had 10 minutes of me with my cleavage. I'm sure Twitch didn't mind, but it was so annoying. So I thought, let me make sure I can do this. You guys could have wandered on in at 9:30, and I sit here with my, oh, and yes. Hey, Static White Sound, Andrew is over on Twitch. Hello. And he's saying, oh, cleavage. Now, Static White Sound is what we all know over on YouTube as Andrew Ivor Spotty Botty, which is why I call him Andrew Ivor Static White Sound Spotty Botty. Can't believe it's not Butty Geek. That's a Scrabble score for you. So hello. And reading the rest. So yes, I made sure that I could press the doing. So now that I know what I'm doing, I shouldn't be early next week. But you know, yeah. So as I was saying before, I spotted Andrew over there on Twitch. Jimmy's gonna love me. I love doing this. Jimmy, I have my tumbler. I'm drinking wine, guys. I'm drinking wine in a tumbler because I tend to wave my arms around and knock things over. Even that has gone flying before. So last night, that the vase that the flowers reminded on Boaty stream reminded him of the glass that I drink my wine out of. I do laugh. Static White Sound, Andrew. Yes, there's quite a few people over. There's 10 people over on YouTube. If you want to go on over there, I really don't mind. So, my sister, Emma, Disinterested Cargill, says, yes, you can hear you loud and clear. Good, good, good. That's what we like. And then she says she's in a cozy cardi tonight. Well, that I'm in a cozy cardi. No, it's not a cardi. It's a new top. And they're fake buttons, as I've just found out. So I'm afraid I can't undo one to give you a little bit more. Oh, Twitch can't see that, but the YouTube camera angle is a little bit deeper. So I'm flashing my bra at you guys. You wouldn't expect anything less from me, though. Mustafa says, hello, Mustafa. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the channel. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. Oh, God, I flashed my bra and everybody left. Neil, hello. How are we all doing today? He says. Neil, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Are you still recovering nicely? And Casbar is in the house. Hi, all, says that guy from SETI Alpha, which means that it's Barry and Karen tonight. So welcome and hello. Vikas, I hope I pronounced that right, says, hi, sweetie. Hello, Vikas, and welcome. Welcome to the stream. Everyone's saying hello. Jimmy's saying that me drinking wine out of a tumbler is shit. It is a proper Saturday night when Minxie is in the house. She's wolf whistling at me. She is on she's not on YouTube. She's on Twitch. Hence what you heard there. That was her announcing her arrival and subscribing to my channel for 17 months in a row. Thank you so much. Subscribing on Twitch is basically paid subscription, so you don't get any adverts, which is great. And Mixie, missed you last week. How are you? How are you? I thought, Minxie says, I had my niece here last week, so didn't even have a second to fart alone. Yeah, Minxie's in the house, guys, so this may get filthy. Just a warning. But that's what we like. This is what we do on Twitch, isn't it, Minxie? New glasses? No, same glasses. Maybe it's the top. It's the top. It's new top. Thank you. The top is gorgeous. What? Oh God. Hang on. Excuse me. Just 1 second. Thank you. Yeah. Just a silly twat on YouTube. Like a spam bot. Yes, the top. Look at the top. Look at this lovely top. It's fantastic. But the problem with it is that it's 3/4 length sleeves, and I've only got short arms. So rather than looking at sexy short 3/4 length sleeves, it looks like I've had a sudden growth spurt, which I would love. But so what I intend to do is have them rolled up quite a lot of the time. So thank you. Are you juggling us all? Yes, I am, Minxie. And yes, so glad you found a way to do both. Yes, well, I'm using 2 different cameras. I'm using, over here is YouTube, and there you are on Twitch. So at some point, I will merge the 2 and use software to do both. But I felt like I was missing talking to the YouTube community as well. So I had to work out how to do both of you. You know I like doing two at the same time, Minxie. Anyway, so Emma says, don't forget to like. Jimmy's puking about something. It may well have been the cleavage. So4 says, hi, hello, welcome. This is over on YouTube. Andrew Buttergeek is now in the house and saying hello. So he's over here on YouTube, and he's crossed over. Oh, and Minxie says that she's got me on YouTube as well, so she can do me. Oh no, sorry, get me from both angles. I do like a multi-angle. You know that, Minxie. Where are we? Jimmy and everybody's saying hello to each other. Lovely. And Mark on YouTube says, no, not YouTube. Mark on, see, this is the confusing bit. Oh gosh, we're coming already. Mark says, is Nev streaming today? And that's a long term joke, because Nev on Twitch keeps saying, is Mark streaming today? So he's getting him back. So everyone's saying hello. Did you find your lost gigs? Is that to me? Lost gigs? I don't know. Still say, Andrew Buttergeek says, master multitasker matron. Oh, a bit of alliteration. I like that. Emma says she's doing both at the same time. It's like an orgy in here. It's often like an orgy. Once Minxie and Mark is in the house, you know, I'm actually surprised my husband's not in here as well. So, because usually it's all a bit of a free for all, and we talk about farts and poo a lot. No, we don't poo a lot. Never mind. Oh, gigs, glasses. Oh yes, I did find my lost glasses. Yes, they were in my bra, which is where Boaty's bottle of wine was. So my bra obviously likes encapsulating things. Minxie says, oh, where is Andy? I don't know where he is, actually. Andy, are you in one of the streams? I did tell him that I was getting ready for a stream, and he was like, oh, okay. So I don't know. The naughty boy will be here along at some point, ready for a spanking, I'm sure. So how is everyone? How is everyone tonight? I've just seen the message, the post on YouTube. How is everyone tonight? What's been happening? I'm just trying to think of what. As you're gearing up for a live stream, you think, oh, I'll talk about that, and I'll talk about that. And the minute you press live, it's like, what? Where am I? What am I doing? Who am I? So it's gone, and I'm sure it'll come back to me. But there were things that I wanted to talk about. Peter B says, what? Didn't you notice a bottle in your bra? Have you seen the space that's in there? No, it was in my when I was at the yard. I lost a pair of glasses, and I thought I'd left it either in the caravan or in the lockup on thingy. And I asked Mustard if I'd left them there, and he said he couldn't see them anywhere. But they were only readers. They weren't my important ones, so that I could see people. But he looked and couldn't see them, so I didn't know where they were, because they're usually in my rucksack. And then I found them in my main wheelie bag, wrapped in a bra. Now, the thing about the bottle in the bra was that I used my padded bra as padding to make sure that the bottle of wine that I was taking up there for Boaty wouldn't get broken. And if you watch the Emma's Yard Day video, you see Boaty sniffing the wine bottle in the yard and saying, yes, it does smell a bit nipply. Well, Emma says she should have made Boaty fish for the bottle. He was getting his kit off, wasn't he? Mixie says, yeah, the build up to a live stream is terrifying, and then your mind goes blank. Yeah, I was, you know, what is it about live streams that everyone suddenly needs you in the 10 minutes before you're going to press the button, and you're throwing makeup on and making sure that you're dressed, and you're not pressing the live button too early, otherwise they're going to get the wrong kind of eyeful. So suddenly messages come in, and you're spending all this time going, I'm just about to go live, come and talk to me on the live stream. And they go, oh no, oh no, I won't. I don't really, okay, shh. I'm right. So Karen, that guy from SETI Alpha 5 says, I don't do orgies. I'm a jealous one when it comes to ladies. And I'm jealous about my hubby, my Baz. Oh, well. Oh. I think that's usual for a lot of people, though. I do think that's for men and women. So, Emma has put a link into the Yard Day video, so watch that after this. Mark on Twitch says, that's a good point. I could use Minxie's bra pads as insoles. Minxie says, but bra pads got some new soft bras, and they had those removable pads in them. Had to take those out, and they're huge. Yeah, well, give them to Mark, because he needs insoles. And Mickey is on Twitch. Hello, Mickey. Thank you, Mark. That's what we needed. We missed the diabolical. And Mickey's over there saying Mark can use them as bean bags. Oh, dear. Andrew Buttergeeks on YouTube says, can imagine Boaty quivering, trying to retrieve anything from the bra department. He would never have gone near.
Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
Thank you, Mickey. That is Mickey's voice. That is actual Mickey's voice that I turned into a sound effect specially for him. Because he used to do the streaming with me, and so he was on here like making, saying things diabolical and welcome to the Pleasure Dome, and it had to be done. These sound effects had to be done. Anyway, yes, no, I think if Boaty could only have wine, if wine was only ever stored and kept safe in ladies' bra department, buxom ladies' bra departments, he would be teetotal. He would. That's it. I'm never touching wine again. Never touching wine again. Because he would just be so scared. Karen says, my Baz crashed a Vulcan bomber in the new video. Oh, okay. Is that a new one up on YouTube? I've missed that. I've had a weird day today. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Stratospherian is here, and I love his name because it always reminds me of guitar, which is actually and it's gone blank. Stratocaster. There we go. I should know that. I'm married to a musician. So Fender Strat. That's what it reminds me of. Is Fender Strat, Stratospherian. So hello, good evening, Strat. Lovely to see you here. Peter P says to Andrew, it's a bottle of wine, so he would have had a go. I could just imagine he would have been like, oh dear. Oh, so time for a bit of wine. And I've remembered what I was going to say. One of the things I was going to say. Yeah, I was out yesterday. Not really sort of out, but I had a brunch somewhere, and last night I just felt really dicky. Yeah, not the pleasant dicky. I just felt really kind of off. And my head kept stepping out slightly. And when I woke up this morning, I felt like I had a mega hangover. And I think that something in the food yesterday didn't agree with me. And at the time, I was saying that the beans tasted a bit weird. They tasted like somebody had put cabbage in them. So I think that potentially it was a can of beans that had turned, like maybe the seal had been broken or something like that. It just wasn't right. So I spent most of today sleeping off I say food hangover. You know what I mean? Just sleeping it off. And oh my God, I had some wonderful dreams. I won't bore you with them, but I had some wonderful dreams. And I woke up at about 6:30 going, oh, do I have to get up? I want to carry on having those dreams. They're really, really nice. Minxie on Twitch says, I love when men are scared of boobs. Yeah, it keeps them away, doesn't it? Some are drawn to the boobage and some are scared. And yes. So Emma says, we will have to test this out about the boobage and the bottles. Yes, we will next time. Oh, and Peter P says, and doesn't Boaty claim he would do anything for a tenner? Yeah, that's a point. He needs to grow that porn tash yet. And I did promise that I would make a porn tash for him, didn't I? I remember promising that on one of Mustard's streams, so bear with. Oh, Mixie says about boobs, the ones that are scared of boobs are usually more grateful. Oh, and then in chat in YouTube on YouTube, it's all like melon and bottle and melon and cash and lemons and cash. What the fucking Momo? Boobs and Momo. Cha-ching. Yes, I think we might have a little sideline going on here. That's so funny. And Strat is saying, oh, he's doing, cheers with the glasses and a guitar as a thanks for all the welcoming. You're very welcome. Baz would do anything for chicken curry, and says Karen, and then Barry says, sorry, I need to restrain my wife. What? That noise is not the one bad noise. Oh no, you're joking. You're joking. Right, back in a minute. It's all right, I'm staying, guys, on YouTube. Sorry, there was an audio issue. So there was an audio issue on what you call it? Twitch. There we go. Sometimes it goes into the red. Can you tell me if that's fixed? That has fixed. Has that fixed it? Now that was me saying it. Oh God. Right. Oh shit. All right. My OBS is playing up on Twitch, so I've had to just do a reboot of OBS. We'll try that. We'll try that. So, has that fixed it, guys? On Twitch, has that fixed it? Emma says, I still have my sushi pick ready to go. Yeah, nobody's paying up. Has that fixed it? There's all these techie issues. Karen says, if I catch you talking to Sarah Michelle Gellar, I'll divorce you. B2B says, how about Uri Geller? Oh, yeah. Emma says that she popped over to Twitch, thought she had tinnitus. I know that it got a whistle. Can you check for me, please? Because I've just rebooted OBS over there. So Uri Geller, yeah, and that guy from SETI Alpha 5 says, is that the guy who bent spoons? Oh, thank you, Minxie. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was an OBS problem. I obviously shouted too loud, and then it sent OBS into overdrive, which is kind of what happens if I shout too loud when I'm sitting next to my husband. It sends his audio sense into overload, and yeah. Emma says, we knew somebody who bent spoons, was incredible. Yes, and that people just don't believe. And the thing was that he himself was so he didn't want to be seen as a weirdo, even though he was. No, he didn't want to be seen as a weirdo or strange. He didn't want to be pointed at or singled out or anything like that. He could have made so much money from it because he didn't know how he was doing it. It wasn't the Uri Geller trick of like holding onto it and then it snapped. No, he used to be able to make sculptures just by touching forks and spoons, and he could have made loads of money out of being a freak but he just didn't want to. And he's gone now. He died about a month ago. No, coming up for 2 months ago now. Oh right, it's okay, Emma. Minxie has said that it's good now, so thank you anyway. So yeah, Minxie says, wow, that's amazing. Imagine having that skill. Yeah, see, that was the thing. It wasn't like he was doing a magic trick like Uri Geller, which is obvious. You know, other magicians have done stuff like that. I think I can see his face. I can see his face. The one that does the mind things. Is it Darren something or Darren Brown? He can do things like that. But this guy just did not know how he did it himself. One day it was just literally like there was something about Uri Geller in the paper. I think it was the Sun, and it was like everybody needs to put your broken clocks and your watches and things like that on the Sun at, you know, the Sun newspaper at this time of day on this, you know, and then they'll all be fixed. So we were like, oh yeah, Uri Geller, yeah. So let's say this is a piece of cutlery. So me and Emma, were you there on that day? I can't remember if you were there on that day, but it was definitely me and this guy and his sister. And we got the we got the cutlery, and it was like, yeah, all right, let's just supposed to just stroke it, yeah. And we did that, like me, his sister, and him. We did that. Nothing happened to me and his sister, but his went like it had melted, like one of those like a jelly, you know, the jelly strip sweets that just like that. And me and his sister, so Emma was there. So all of us, like, you know, if you're in a room with cats, with multiple cats, and you drop something or make a loud noise and the cats scatter across the room and hide behind the sofa, that was me, my sister and his sister. And we were like, oh my God, like, screaming. And he threw the spoon across the room and he's like, oh my God. It's so funny and so amazing and so scary at the time, because it's like, what on earth? How did that happen? So, and the problem was that whenever he got drunk, which was quite often, he couldn't control it. So he'd be going into the drawer to get a spoon to maybe eat something, and he'd put his hand in the drawer, and all the cutlery that he touched or went near went mad and went curly. The amount of times that we just had to keep literally bending the cutlery back, and nobody believed us. But I was there, and it was. I'm cynical about a lot of these things, you know, when magicians do it and so-called psychics and that. But I've seen it with my own eyes, and it was weird. And Minxie says, I understand, though, I'd not want the attention. Yeah, exactly. Or it just, nowadays, if it was now, with the internet and everything, because this is going back to before I had children, so we're going back nearly 40 years. And so there wasn't, difficult to get monetized things. Can you imagine him going on YouTube now and just being able to be a millionaire? Emma says, I'm knackered. I wonder if I'm slightly unwell. That's how I was earlier. And I think I've slept it off. So, touch wood. Emma says he made me a curly fork. Yes, do you still have that? Because he made me one as well. And unfortunately, it went with the great burning of the house contents that Chris enjoyed. Nobody else enjoyed it. So Barry says to Karen, so what if I catch you talking to Dwayne Johnson, Karen? And she says, that's different. Or Dwayne Dibley, Kaz, says Andrew. Oh, brilliant. Emma says, I remember his spoon just flopped over like a flaccid penis. That's it. That's exactly like it. Blur. And Barry says, Barry or Karen's Casbar says, I should explain we're both logged into my Tube account. No, my Tube? My YouTube account on different laptops. So you can argue across the room. I've done that before. I've been, I can't remember if it was Skype or something, going back 20 years, and me and my husband would have arguments via them, and we'd be in the same room, but we'd have arguments on our devices across. Peter P says, sounds like a wizard. Yeah, well, he wouldn't have wanted any of that type of... Karen says, my Baz is great big softy. He can shoot, does kung fu and kickbox and stuff, but he's a softy. Oh, that's good though. I like that. I like men who are masculine, but with that masculinity also comes with a big helping of softness and loveliness and fluffiness. That kind of the tender masculinity. That's what I love, tender masculinity. Yeah. Emma says you should have got him on your YouTube channel as a guest. No, he wouldn't have done. He would not have done. He would have hated that. He would absolutely have hated that. He didn't understand all the internet doings, all the online doings, even though he enjoyed watching. He watched things on YouTube, and I can't remember what else. He didn't pay for Netflix or anything. Emma says, no, I don't have my curly fork. I decluttered all my pointless artifacts many years ago, along with the ex-husband. Cheers, guys. Oh, hang on. There's something in my drink. Oh. Sounded like, what's her face from Gavin and Stacey? Ow! Ow! Nessa. That's her. Ugh. What the hell are you doing in my drink, you little bugger? Go on. You look like a flea. There we go. It's only one of my fleas. So in other good news this week, or in other news this week, in the last 2 weeks, I have lost £10. Not a £10 note. Not a £10 note. No. 2 Thursdays ago, I went to Slimming World and I'd lost £4. And then this week, I lost £6. So along with the weight loss that I'd had the week before that, I've lost nearly a stone in 3 weeks. And I was Slimmer of the Week 2 weeks in a row. So I'm very, very happy about that. I occasionally get people saying to me, you don't need to lose weight. You wouldn't be Tracy if you weren't overweight. But, oh, bollocks. I like walking. I like being able to walk. I like being able to function normally and stuff like that. And it does hurt. You know, if you've got extra weight, I've got arthritis. And if you've got extra weight while you're trying to move around, it can slow you down. And slowing you down means that you don't burn off the calories, which means it keeps you fat. So I was very pleased with that. I was, everybody clapped, and I got some free eggs and pickles, I think, and baked beans, stuff like that. So, oh, excuse me, wine burp. Ah, Minty says, that's amazing, Tracy. Yes, you're doing amazing. Thank you. Thank you. That's the thing. it sort of stalled for sort of 2 or 3 weeks. No, it's not stalled. Like it went up a bit, but that totally hormonal stuff, you know. And you know, Mother Nature being very unkind to me. You know, she decided she hid for about 3 months, and gave me all the hormones anyway, and then visited, and so that was all over the place. So there was a gain and a lot. It went up and down, and then 3 weeks in a row, it was you know, chipping away at it, or not chipping away at it, like dropping. I stepped on the scales and I was like, oh! And I had to call the group consultant over. I was like, come and see this. Because I couldn't believe seeing that number on the scales, nearly losing like half a stone in a week. Oh my God. Peter P says Milky Flakes. What, in my wine? No, I think it was a flea. Not really. Emma says, I'm getting back on the weight loss tomorrow. Yes. But how I did it was basically I kept off the carbs, particularly the processed carbs. I still had some potato, but things like pasta and bread, they're processed carbs, so they tend to bloat me out and keep me fat. And Mixie says, oh, it's so motivating when it happens. Yes, and I feel like I can move around a bit more and stuff. I want to go for walks. I want to go for, you know, I want to enjoy the countryside and things like that. And it's just horrible when you feel disabled because the weight is hurting your joints more that are hurting anyway. And then because your joints are hurting, you can't move around more, and you know, the vicious circle. Carbs definitely hold me back, says Minxie. When I did low carb, it happened fast, but it's really hard. It is. I think it's just a case of making sure that you've got the flavours going on, because what I had last week, I had things like I did a steak, but then I had, and I've worked out how to use dark soy sauce. Dark soy sauce, you need to make sure that you cook it off until it goes a bit sticky. And then it goes lovely and sweet, and you add your vegetables, and it's amazing. I was using it wrong. I was adding it like a flavour. No, you've got to reduce it a bit. Lovely. Oh, Emma says, I've just seen, did you miss a chunk of comments or did I fall asleep? Hang on a minute. I'm on live chat. We will have to test this out. There's Boobage, Momo, Sushi. Twitch was screaming. She's knackered. Dwayne Dibley, sounds like a wizard. Should have got my new YouTube channel. Milky Flakes. Getting back on the weight loss tomorrow. The Incredible Shrinking Sisters, says Emma. That's where I'm up to. I can't see any missing comments. Peter P says ride Daisy. Are we talking cows? Cow. And Simone's here. Hiya. How are you doing, Simone? How are you doing tonight? Oh, that's the plan, Peter P. So basically, riding Daisy must be something to do with where she went, where Emma went for one of her like gallivanting around England, having shenanigans. That monorail was a proper workout. Oh yes, Peter P. I saw that. I was watching that. I was watching that with my husband next to me, and he keeps going, that's like a workout. You get on that and you have to pedal. And, oh, fuck that. Yeah. Simone says, she can't drink wine. I think you've said before, haven't you? Everyone's so different. I can drink vodka until it comes out of my ears and not get pissed, and you know, I feel fine. And then when I wake up in the morning, I feel like I've been hit by a steam train. I don't know. You know, it's really weird how it can go in so easily and not affect me until the next day. And then for about 2 days, I have a terrible vodka hangover. Everyone's saying hello to Simone and about did you, and then Emma says, did you miss a chunk of comments? Did I fall asleep? Oh, Daisy, is your bicycle? Yes, of course, Emma. Thank you. Oh, I'm not sure if this is Karen speaking or whether, I think it's Karen speaking. But anyway, that guy from SETI Alpha 5 says, Boaty is a sweet man, but he's not in the best of health. I suspect he has a developing heart issue and needs to get it checked out. Oh, yeah, I would say that to him in private message, to be honest, because I don't think he's here. He might pop in, I guess, but yeah. Andrew says, I'm the opposite. Need to put weight on. I'm skinny like a rake. Well, have some of my fat, and I will have some of your skinniness. Oh, that's good. Simone says that she's good. Thanks, Tracy. And Emma says, Daisy's my bicycle. Yeah, I remember now. Information stays in sometimes. I don't know why. No, I do know why I didn't remember about Daisy being a bicycle, because I'd only watched. Had you had lots of videos out that saying, right, I'm going to ride Daisy now, it would have stayed. Doesn't Matron watch your video, says Peter P. I do, but there was one video where she says, I've got this bike and it's called Daisy. One video. Needs more than that for me for it to go in and for me to remember. Wine gives me migraines within seconds, says Simone. Oh, no. Yeah. Probably some enzyme or something they do to it or something. Anyway, cheers. Yeah, there was no flea in that one. So Peter B says, doesn't Matron watch your videos? Clearly not, Peter, says Emma. I think she pretends to. Either that or she's not a super fan like you, Peter. No, I do watch them. And I am honest when I haven't watched them, because I know that I've watched all of the Yard Day videos. I've watched all of the Matlock videos, or, you know, the when you were up there this time. But I've got, I think, 3 Wales videos from the second time round to watch. And I'm honest, what happens is that I watch other stuff. I've just remembered that there's some of Boaty's that I haven't watched yet. I know he hasn't put anything out for a while, apart from his tinkle when Emma stayed. But yeah, I think it's the finances one that I've missed, so I need to watch that. So there's a few bits and pieces that I need to catch up on. It's just so difficult when you've got shall we just say government departments trying to get your attention, so that you can go and prove to them that you are gainfully self-employed. So you have to get all your shit together for that and everything, plus try to earn money, plus try to live, plus try to enjoy yourself, plus try to get enough sleep, and then you've got commitments like watching YouTube and things, and then of course I just want to play. I want to play. Oh, something flashed then. Don't you be playing with me, computer. That guy from SETI Alpha 5 says, Karen says, the antioxidants in the wine are affecting your taste buds, Simone. Peter P says, about as honest as mustard RE videos. Yeah, that's really funny. That was really funny when we were there. I do watch the videos. I thought that can opener was really good. No, I thought the can opener was really good. Matron and mustard are as bad as each other. What can I say? What can I say? Actually, no, I do watch more than Mustard does. He does way more editing than I do. And plus he works in the day, so. But it is funny when... I know I do watch videos. That bit there, that bit... Yeah, you know which bit I mean. That was really good, yeah. Casbar says, we're going to head out. We're going to see a band tonight. Stay safe all. Oh, lovely. Thank you so much for being here, and enjoy, have fun. I love going to see bands. There's a music. There's not a lot of live music places left, like gigging live places in London. I'm not talking about the big ones where you buy tickets and you pay a lot of money and you're in like an arena or whatever. I mean pubs or bars that you go to and they've got live music on. There's not a lot of, here at all. I can only think of 3 now. One of them does charge quite a bit. There is another one where it's actually free to get into as long as you buy drinks and put some money in the pot at the end. That's the one that I go to. Oh, a local band called Plastic Kings. Oh, cool. Yeah, I must get out. I must get out again to some live music. What are you having for dinner, Minxie? Peter P says to Casbar, not Brucey then. Oh, chin up, chin up. Everybody loves a happy face. Emma, this was the top. This top actually is the one that I was going to wear on the Monday when we were away. I wanted to wear this, but it was far too warm in the day. The daytime was far too warm. I ended up having to wear like a vest thing with that silvery vest thing over the top. It was just too warm. I was sweating my boobies off. Mixie's having gammon, asparagus, new potatoes and sweet corn. Oh, did you roast the gammon, slow cook the gammon? I love slow cooking gammon or boiling gammon or simmering it, because you end up with really, really soft, sometimes, like pulled gammon. Oh, gonna have to buy that this week. Oh, that guy from SETI Alpha 5 says, oh, Jesus Christ, I hate that goddamn song, Pete. Oh God, oh, Jesus Christ. Actually, I like that. That guy from SETI Alpha 5, I love the word change, the lyrics change to that. It's skin up, roll a joint and smoke away. I like that. I do like that. Stick it in the air and wave it around. Oh, you like backgammon? That's a game, isn't it? Emma likes gammon and pineapple. I haven't had gammon and pineapple since I was a kid. Oh no, I think I must have made it. I probably made it in the 90s. So. Oh, that's funny. When I was at like a Fraggle at Fraggle Rock, when I was at the offices of the government department who shall remain nameless, although some of you guys, Minxie probably knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. When I was there, oh, Mark as well. Mark probably knows what I'm talking about too. When I was there on the way out, I randomly got talking to one of the security guards there. And Emma, it turns out this security guard knows Pete Orr, or at least used to know Pete Orr. He did his own music and like he's on YouTube, which I haven't checked him out yet. But he was saying that Pete Orr and his son were his backing musicians for this thing. Yeah, Pete Orr, I know, he's still alive. Because my first words out of my mouth when he was saying about, there was this guy's got really, really deep voice. He's going, yeah, this really great guitarist called Peter Orr. And I went, Peter Orr? He said, oh, what, you know him? And I said, is he still alive? He said, yeah, he's still alive. He had a heart operation a few years ago and sailed through it. He's still with us and he's still on YouTube. I will dig him out. Dig him up. There's one I never managed to get hold of. She said, yeah, I know. He was so interesting looking as well. But the thing that reminded me as well was we were talking about him playing the cartoons, Peter Orr playing the cartoon. And this guy said, no, he never played the cartoon. And I said, he did. He played the cartoon with the Jimi Hendrix Experience. in the early 90s, because that was my first date with my ex-boyfriend. Like I got together with the new boyfriend, and I'd been with him for a couple of weeks, and then Pete Orr was in my local pub and was saying about that he had this this gig that he was gonna do, and my very, very new boyfriend then, who's now my ex, been my ex for years, but my very new boyfriend then said, "Do you fancy coming to see him at the cartoon?" I was, yeah, okay. So like I think that may well have been. Now that was my second proper date. I was saying may well have been my first proper date, I was going to say, but no, it was my second. But it was the first successful one anyway. Bye, but Casbar, see you later. And it just reminds to everybody that I will be here until probably about 11:15, depending on conversation. If the conversation is flowing, darling. And then I will be switching off so we can all head over to Boaties to carry on the shenanigans. Hopefully you'll all be warmed up nicely and a little bit pissed by them, potentially, perhaps. And personally, I will just be getting semi-naked so that I can sit in front of the fan and be nice and cool and just, that was, when on Thursday when Emma was having the technical difficulties and he said, "Matron, do you want to step in?" And I just looked and I was like, I can't be bothered to get dressed. I can't put my clothes on. Pineapple on a schnitzel, Hawaiian. Oh, that sounds nice. Is a schnitzel like a pork a flat piece of pork meat and then breadcrumbed, and then you put the pineapple on the top? Because that sounds doable. And I don't know why I was talking. Yeah, I was talking about the 90s because I was remembering the pineapple gammon and pineapple. So, Emma says about Pete Orr. If anyone wonders what we're talking about, there's a guy called Peter Orr or Pete Orr. He's still gigging all around the country. I can't remember the name of his band at the moment. Something like Voodoo or Voodoo Dolls or something. And he had a glass eye. He had long hair, glass eye. He was a really interesting person and a really extremely talented musician, talented guitarist. And me and Emma used to go and watch him, watch him play live, and and Emma saying that she loved his glass eye, and I was his groupie and photographer for a while. The closest I got to bedding him was taking Gino Washington's bass player home, who Pete Orr was supporting. Oh no, was that the night? Was that the night that he sat on the toilet? Not Peter or the other one. Sat on the toilet and was expecting you to do some work. Who was it? What was it? I can't remember. I was talking to a guy, but I don't remember if I got that guy. I don't remember doing anything with that guy, the other guy. Emma says, "Hey, I'm sure people would have happily had you stepping in naked." And Andrew Buttergeek says, "Yes." Peter says he had a cross necklace and one red dangly earring. Always wore shirts and waistcoats. Yes. But no, it wasn't the Debbie McGee night. Debbie McGee, I remember that. But it was that fella. Yeah, he taught my neighbour to play bass. Washington's bass player taught my neighbour how to play bass. And she was bass player for Sophie Ellis-Bextor, not the one that we have in chat occasionally. He was a git, yes. I clearly remember that he just sat there and just expected you to hop on, or whatever it was. Suck this, hop on, or something. And I don't think you actually did, but I can't remember. And I cannot remember what the guy no, that wasn't him. Who was that then? Who was the one sitting on the toilet? Not sitting on the toilet, sitting on the clothes. I'm sure it was. Right, yeah. No. I remember that. But the guy that you're talking about, I'm sure, just sat on the loo. Because I was down in the kitchen with the other guy, which I can't remember his name. I was down in the kitchen with the other guy, and he went. You followed the other guy up to the loo, and he just sat there and expected. Anyway. I thought that I think we are. Yes. Well, everyone's listening and enjoying because it's to do with the private lives of Tracy and Emma. Matron and Emma Lemon, and Minxie knows half of this stuff anyway because it's just funny. So, well, no, she doesn't know half of these details, but she does enjoy a naughty conversation. You weren't there the night that the bass player and I got unfriendly. Okay. Okay, maybe then I'm mixing the two nights up. Maybe that's what it is. Well, we didn't get friendly. Andrew Buttergeek says, Confessions of a Matron. Well, I mean, you guys who are in chat, you can ask me anything. I mean, it's literally in the description. Ask me anything. I will endeavour to tell you, and you might find it funny. My answer. I mean, I really don't mind. Sometimes it's difficult when you're typing in chat and somebody asks you a question and you try to type and then the chat moves on, and then the moment's gone and then Boaty reads it out. And you don't know what the hell's being talked about. Debbie McGee night was a few weeks prior. Did you not get hold of him that night, though? And who was I talking to? In my mind, I was talking to somebody who looked like Ed Byrne. Oh, then a few weeks later, I went to photograph Pete Orr and bass player came home and was a git. Minxie says unfriendly. So Emma, Minxie on Twitch says unfriendly. Was there some hair pulling? Oh yes, and Emma does point out this was about 30 years ago, guys, and I'm going to point out that it was actually longer than that. Yes, it was longer than. Oh, no, it must have been longer than that. Yeah, no, vaguely longer than that because my ex, who I started going out with, was in 1992. So that was 32 years. So yeah, about 30 years. I'm not going to... Your guy had long dark hair, Trace. Yeah, that's why I was thinking in my mind he looked a bit like Ed Byrne, because Ed Byrne had long dark hair then. No, Emma says, Minxie, Emma says no hair pulling. No, she says no, hair pulling would have been okay. He got angry that I was on my time of the month and stormed out. So that's how much of a git he was. Simone says, 92, I left school then. Yeah, I'm slightly older than you, and I think it might well be when Emma left school. I left school in 80... No. No, I think it might be slightly after Emma leaving school. No, I might be right. I left school in, hang on, 88. And Emma left school in 91. Sure it wasn't 92 because I left in 88. But anyway, yeah. So it was that period of time after leaving school and, where you're kind of trying to find your way in the world, like, get boyfriends or get girlfriends, have nights out. How long can you stay out without your mum getting pissed off and things like that? And so it was that period of time. 87 was Andrew Buttergeek's last year at school. Emma says, God knows. Can't remember. It's all haze. Minxie on Twitch, Emma, says to what you said about him getting angry about the time of the month. She says, wow, what a loser. Worried about a bit of mess. This is the thing. And Mum didn't care. Yeah, no, I know Mum didn't care, but what I'm saying is, it's like it's that period of time of just how far can you sort of push society before they get pissed off with you. Mum was in the house when men were storming out of the house over my periods. Simone says, Emma, we're both 1976 kids, aren't we? And Emma says, yes, I'm January 1976. And Jimmy says, I left school in No, that's terrible. That's not the voice. That's not the voice. That is almost Auntie Anne. Jimmy goes, I left school at 71. Sorry, Jimmy. It has to be done. I know you don't talk like that. I know you don't talk like that, Jimmy. And Simone says 92, then same as me. Yeah, I think it was 92 because I left in 88 and Emma is 4 years younger than me. So she would have left in 92. So Neil says that he left school in 2014 and he's making me feel like his grandmother. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking, Neil. You know I love you, really. But 2014 seems like ages ago, doesn't it now? I don't know why I went into that accent. It's kind of almost what's her Mavis? Almost Mavis from Coronation Street. And that's Aveline. Oh, it's wandering all over the country right now. Mixie says, blimey, I left school in 2002. Yes. Sorry, took me a moment there. Because my brain thought you said 2012. My mouth said 2002. I'm looking at the wrong camera here. So Emma is saying that Jimmy, the pleasure beach. Way. Jimmy was 14 when he left school. I was about 14 when I left school as well, Jimmy, unofficially. But I had to stay officially until 1988. Second grade in 92, says Peter P. Andrew says, old chap Jimmy, I was only but a 1-year-old then. 71, I was born. So Emma says she's turning into Mr. Stephen Parry. Yes, where is he? I wanted to give it the Leisure Peninsula, but I wasn't going to do what you did, Emma. Seriously, that was when I saw you getting closer to the camera, Emma, the night that you were in Premiere Inn. As soon as I saw you, kind of, I was whipping my headphones off. But no, I'm not hearing my sister's sex noises. And I was turning into Mr. Stephen Parry, the Leisure Peninsula. Simone says, I remember 1988. I nearly drowned, crashed my bicycle into a wall and smashed my face up and teeth out. I still have the stitches. Oh my gosh. I still have stitches. Oh, we can't really see it very much now, but that bit there is from a tram crash. I was in Blackpool in 86. And the reason I know it was 1986 is because the local newspaper reported that me and Emma were both 14. And I was annoyed at this because we weren't both 14. I was 14. Emma was 10. And it reported that we were both 14. Or was it the other way around? No, it was definitely 86 because I remember, I lost my virginity in 1986 and I thought that God was punishing me for being such a wicked girl by making me crash in a tram. And it was a Blackpool tram. It was a single decker and we were on our way to Fleetwood. It was a bit windy. Sand got in the brakes and as we went over the top of the crest of the hill, the brakes failed and we crashed into... Well, we actually slipped under the back of, the heritage trams that you have now. That was a double-decker. We slipped under that, and I ended up in hospital having to have stitches, and I was picking glass out of my face for years. And Minxie on Twitch says, you lost your virginity the year I was born. Maybe I'm your long-lost daughter, she says. I don't know. Are you half Turkish? What did your DNA say? Emma says to me, I've been waiting for you to get boring so I can go and do something I need to do. So can you hurry up and be boring, please? Everybody, I think Emma needs a poo. Poo time for Emma. Oh, no, she talks to me on when she's on the toilet, so. Minxie says, haha, definitely not got any turkey in me. Yeah, I've only ever had turkey in me very briefly, so. Emma says, yes, our tram crashed before Coronation Street did it. Yes, because when we saw it later that year, I think it was horribly scary to see the same kind of trams. I think it was the same type of tram hitting Alan Bradley. And, oh, nightmares. Simone says, I remember that. Andrew says, Trace and Emma's age difference is the same as me and my brother. Yeah, 4 years is pretty, it's a pretty good age gap when you, well, it depends on what parents that you have. Because, I mean, I didn't like my sister at all. And now I do. No, now I do. I didn't like my sister at all when I was growing up, though. Well, no, I can't really say that because we did get on. We used to play Cindy's and Pippa dolls and things, and that was they were usually really funny, but generally sort of just how our parents were, especially as I hit teenage years and became horrible, and my sister was just this horrible kid brat who was just really annoying, but yeah, but then when you're older, the 4 years is quite good, I think. Minxie on Twitch says, my sister and I didn't like each other as children. It's much better when we were in separate houses. Now, when we are in separate houses. Yes, and that's basically what happened. I moved out, and then me and my sister actually got on because we didn't have to share the bedroom. We didn't share a bedroom for years, but I didn't have her hanging around being, you know, an annoying little sister. And I looked forward to seeing her. And then I had my eldest daughter, who my sister loved, like playing with, and you know, whatever, being auntie to, and so that was good. Simone says, I was 21 when I popped my cherry. She said, yeah. I mean, I was too young, but I don't think of it as being too young. It was all right. No, it's not a poo. I need to collect Tesco order requests from all in the house. Oh, go on then. And she's still recovering from her sister hating her. Oh, God, I'll read that out again properly. I'm still recovering from my sister hating me all my life. Years of counselling. 4 years in a psychiatric unit. 2 years in jail. Just kidding, by the way. Well, it just didn't help having the parents that we had, because they were always having their own issues, and you know, we weren't I think a big problem was that we weren't allowed to argue. We weren't allowed to argue, and we weren't allowed to answer my mum back, which is, you know, that's fine, but we weren't allowed to argue between ourselves. And I think that that's wrong, because without arguing between siblings, you never learn how to debate and reason and put your point across. And when you're older and you have an argument with a friend or a partner, or you know, or your spouse, or a child, or your sister or brother, what happens is that you have no reference point. You've not built up the argument muscles as to how to be assertive and to get, you know, be able to do the back and forth. And what happens is that if you have a horrible argument or something, it ends up that you could fall out. Or if you're having an argument, you end up feeling like this scared child in you, because the scared child is expecting your mum to come and tell you off. And so you end up just crying. And it's just, I think it's important that kids do argue between each other, because that develops the arguing skills. debating, debating skills and language and linguistics. So that's what I think anyway. I think we were stunted in the being able to argue, and then that comes with a price a bit later on, because then you have problems setting boundaries and being able to assert those boundaries, because when someone tries to overstep your boundary, you can't then say, hang on, excuse me, no, because what you're expecting is your mum to go, don't argue with your sister, or whatever. Anyway, Simone says 3-year gap to my older brother, 14-year gap to my younger brother, 19-year gap to my youngest brother. 19 years. Oh, 14 years. Do you share the same parents, or was there like 2 marriages or 3 marriages? Sorry if that's nosy, but I'm just saying it's like you've got you and your older brother, and then there's a big gap to your younger brother and your youngest brother. So it's almost like because that almost happened with me. I didn't end up having any more children, but because I had a relationship further on, if we'd had children, the gap would have been about the same, about 15 years between my youngest and my youngest and my next youngest. 28 years difference with my oldest brother. Oh, have you got brothers and sisters in between, Peter P? Minxie on Twitch is saying absolutely true regarding the if you're not allowed to argue with your siblings, you don't develop the arguing skills or the debating skills. Yeah, it's something that actually struck me relatively late on, and we just, I think that was half the problem as to why I hated her, because I would always be the one to be told, don't argue with your sister, don't argue, don't chat back, don't answer back, and things like this. And so I was always being shut up, and so obviously then that bred resentment towards Emma from me. But also then Emma didn't get the ability either to do the arguing backwards and forwards, and my brother was, or still is, 11 years younger than me, so we didn't argue. The age gap was wide enough for us to not argue, because I was almost more like a second mum to him. I would change his nappy and play with him, and give him his bottle and stuff. I loved it. I loved having a little baby brother. Mixie says, I have 2 years with my younger sister, but my eldest sibling, there is 28 years difference. Wow. Was that a second from a previous? Wow. Yeah. Well, my mum, she was the first for my granddad, and then he ended up remarrying, and there would, 26, 27 years between her and the next sibling, but they were half sisters. Yeah, my dad had 3 children long before he had my sister and I. He didn't have my sister and I until he was 42 and 44. Ah, there, that would be why. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Sorry, Minxie. Emma says, yeah, it led me, yeah, exactly. So Emma's now saying, yeah, the not being able to argue, not being allowed to argue, yeah, it led me to not knowing how to deal with Mr. Lemon, and Mum passed without me having said things I should have said. The chat's still not boring. Oh, and Simone says, my younger brothers have a different dad. There we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. But I mean, strange things do happen, because you could have kids sort of in your early 20s, and then go through your life and everything's, nothing else happens, and then all of a sudden the hormones go, that's it, you're having a baby. You're about to have the menopause, so have a baby first. So stranger things have happened. And Minxie says one of her other siblings was when her dad was a teen. So Peter P says, Dad has 4 sons, Mum has 3, and I'm the one they had together. Oh, so like a real mixed and blended family. I hope you all get on really, really well. I mean, all the different partners and ex-partners and things. Minxie says, don't say that. I don't want a baby. I'm hoping for the menopause soon. Yeah, I'm not having any more children. No. I'm perimenopausal or premenopausal, and it just the end of days cannot come soon enough. Really can't. Andrew Buttergeek says, me and my brother used to fight like cats and dogs back in the day, and we still have our moments when things get heated. Peter P is saying the years of his brothers and sisters, brothers. So all boys, Peter. 56, 58, 61, 64, 68, and 84. Oh, you are the baby. Oh, gosh. Right, says Emma. Going to collect Tesco requests from all and sundry. We're back in a bitty, and then she's put a breast. It could be a bumhole, but I think it's a breast. Simone says, no kids, never wanted any. Yeah, it's funny. I had a very, very strong maternal urge when I was a teen. That probably came from looking after my little brother and doing all like motherly stuff with him. And I really, it wasn't so much a maternal urge. Well, maybe it was. And a lot of my friends were getting pregnant and having babies. It was just that kind of like being swept along on the estrogen. And so, yeah, I just felt like I wanted to have a baby. And it happened. And you soon find out how maternal you are once you've had a child. Oh dear. I would have been, it would have, yeah. I did want another couple of kids, but it just didn't happen, so. Oh, Peter P says to Emma, don't forget the DP. And also Andrew Buttergeek, Andrew Buttergeek says, scampi fries on the order. And then says, kids, disgusting little creatures they are. Oh God, sticky hands and snot and, I'll put myself off my wine now. Well, I washed my hair before I came online. So, looking quite snazzer today. So what else was there? What else is there that I was going to say? I know this is typically British, but what's the weather been like where you are? Because we've had, I know, Andrew, you're in Australia. Oh, thank you, Andrew. He says, looks lovely. Yeah. And, of course, all the rest of the hair. If anyone didn't know that my hair is actually exceedingly long and actually goes down to my butt. From my head, I don't have a hairy bum. And you needed to know that. Yeah, so we've had, it's been raining, pissing down most of the day here, and it was quite windy yesterday, but yesterday morning, I think a lot of places got hit a lot worse than London did. So I was just wondering, how has everybody fared with the weather? And it's starting to feel, it's got that feeling in the air now as well of autumn. Lady Godiva. Is it the hair? Yep. It's quite curly at the moment, so I don't think it's. Oh no, it is. It literally, it's touching the sofa behind me. So I like having long hair. That's the nude bird, says Peter P. Yeah. I identify as Catherine the Great. She wasn't she naked quite a lot and shagged a lot of men. Good woman. More wine going into my tumbler, Jimmy. says, the weather's been grey and rainy but boiling still, and she's still warm. Yes. Oh, look, my favourite wine. There we go. Villa Maria. Villa Maria. That is my favourite wine. It's got a hint of grapefruit about it, and I love it. Rapunzel has the long hair. Oh, yes. You know, that's actually something that I want to do. I want to, particularly this one, particularly Rapunzel, I want to rewrite some of the fairy tales, but modern. And I can just imagine, because fairy tales were based a lot on actual scenarios and things like Rapunzel letting her hair down, and the was it the evil witch or something that kept her in the tower? Well, the evil witch would have been an analogy for perhaps potentially a I can't remember if it was a witch or stepmother or whatever, but would have potentially have been an analogy for a controlling husband, that kind of stuff. So trying to keep his wife under lock and key. So I'd love to rewrite some of the fairy tales to actually be sort of modern, like Red Riding Hood. The wolf in Red Riding Hood actually symbolises teenage. Like it would have been a man, but like it's the teenage sexuality thing, and that's why. Oh God, is it Sleeping with Wolves? One of the horrors that came out. Is it Sleeping with? No. Oh, not Sleeping. No, something Wolves. Company of Wolves. Company of Wolves. There we go. Got you there, Tracy. Company of Wolves was quite a sexy film. Don't mean like loads of sex. I mean like the imagery and things. Rather than it being a straight out horror, it actually sort of played on the sensualness of it. And Dracula, vampire things. I know Dracula wasn't a fairy tale, but things like Dracula is a sexual thing too. But that's going slightly more sideways. But yeah, I'd love to rewrite some of the fairy tales to actually as to what it would have been. You know, like Hansel and Gretel basically was being lured by a paedophile. Not sure I'd want to write that one. Strat says, rain and lightning and thunder over my city at the moment. Yes, we were supposed to have thunder and lightning here. I may well have slept through it, but I don't think it happened. Andrew Buttergeek says, late winter here, weather starting to warm up, but still rainy and blowy. I love that feeling of the late winter, early spring, and you can feel spring, summer coming towards you. It's got that, like, you can see little green shoots, trees are starting to potentially blossom. You might see your first bumblebee. Oh, lovely. Anne says it's 23 degrees today, but it'll rain later on. 23 degrees is about as warm as I like it to get. The Rolling Stones, Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, I've heard that and I can't remember it. Peter P says Costner did dances with wolves, but don't remember him shagging any. No, yes, I meant Company of Wolves, not Dances with Wolves. And Minxie on Twitch says, a lot of the fairy tales have such dark undertones, it'd be great to write them for adults. Yeah, that's what I mean. I just think it's, you know, there's and what I'd love to do is keep the imagery in there as well, because when you've got imagery, I'm not going over the top description wise, just having in enough detail so that something stands out very vividly in your mind. I really, really like that. Sleeping Beauty, for example, I mean, what would that have been? That would have been potentially, again, that potentially would have been a controlling husband who was drugging his wife so that he could control her. And then along comes the prince. It wouldn't be the prince, but along comes somebody else and rescues her from the control. and, you know, gets her clean. Does your dog bite? Says Andrew Buttigieg. Peter P says the original Grimm versions are very dark. Yes, yes, that's what I like. That's the thing. That's what I like about the original fairy tales. And we grew up with them. We grew up with them. Maybe they, you know, I think the thing is, kids love being scared, and the original fairy tales that we would have grown up with, oh, just they were so good. They were so good, and they've been watered down a lot for kids nowadays. And a lot of times fairy tales aren't read to kids or by kids now. And Roald Dahl was so good at having dark themes throughout his books. And David Walliams, I've heard, has tried, but fails, you know, falls quite short. And there's also quite a lot of problems with David Walliams' writing. I haven't read any of his stuff, but I've heard people saying, or, you know, I've read across the internet people talking about like it's just stereotypical characters and things like that based on sex, gender, race, stuff like this. So I don't think I'd put him in the same category as Roald Dahl. Andrew Buttigieg says the Grimm versions of fairy tales are not as dark as Boaty's bedtime stories. And oh my god, the best thing about Boaty's bedtime stories is chat. That's the best thing, because us lot can all be cringing our pretzels into next door as much as we like in chat while having a laugh, while Boaty is talking about the whatever it is that he's reading out. Have you read Max and Marit's Story of Seven Boyish Pranks? That's a childhood book of mine. No, I haven't. I haven't heard of that one. Is that is it a dark book? Fun comedy? I used to love reading so much when I was a kid. And I say that now because I do so much reading on the internet now, not reading books, but reading what people have said and, you know, things like that. That I feel like I don't have time to read books, and I really must. Excuse me, just looking to make sure that nobody has pinged me. No, nobody has pinged me. I really must, because I've got books that I want to read. I was gifted. I think Minxie knows that I was given this. It was the oh my god, I can't remember what it's called now. This terrible Five Women, the Five Women, the Five. The one about Jack the Ripper's victims, and I have got that book and I still haven't read it. Is it the Five? Might have to Google that. Let me just Google that. All right. Is it the Five? Oh, it don't look like it's the Five. Oh, it's not. Jack the Ripper victims. Books. Big Times. Books. The Five. Yes. The Five, The Untold Lives of the Women Killed by Jack the Ripper by Hallie Rubenhold. And that is a book that I have got and just haven't got round to reading yet. And I really, really want to read it, because a lot of history has put the Five Women down as common prostitutes, disgusting, you know, no. They were walking the streets, and yes, isn't it sad that this guy ripped them apart, but you know, this is what you kind of expect. But these women were 5 women who modern, now more modern theories, like looking into their lives and looking at censuses and things like this, shows that potentially, right, okay, I can't remember how many, but let's say at least one of them wasn't a prostitute. And also, it could be even be all 5 weren't. And the thing is that these 5 women had lives and families and were real people, and that is the interesting thing for me, because they have stories, their lives, that thousands of other women will never ever be mentioned by name ever again, but they have names and they have stories to tell, and thankfully at least one author has brought them back to life. Peter P says the book, looking back, it's quite dark, and Emma's back. Welcome back. Minxie says, I've been reading a bit more lately. I managed 5 books in 5 days. Oh, I love that feeling of being when the hole in the book opens and you fall in and you're there. But then I had stuff to do, so I haven't read much this week. Yeah, I just need to get back to it. That I've got books that I haven't read for a while, and I really love. I want to go back to reading the books that I love. I'm not normally a short story reader, but Helen Simpson, I can't remember whether I think I got a free gift of a very small book, like a thin book, a sample type thing by Helen Simpson. Can't remember what that was called. No, I think, yes, that was 4 Bare Legs in a Bed. And I loved it so much that I bought her, I think it was called Dear George or something like that, and it was more short stories, and I was fascinated by the way that she created characters and scenarios and that, and just literally it was like she put her hand into someone's life, pulled out this scenario, put it down on paper, and and there it all was, this little world encapsulated. Andrew Buttigieg says the last book I read was about Australian pilots in Bomber Command during World War II. Peter P says Wiki says that the Maxima Reitz story of 7 boys pranks says it's an invented, blackly humorous tale told entirely in rhymed couplets about 2 boys who play pranks, published in 1865. Do you remember a lot of books back in the day had rhymed couplets? I remember reading like Rupert the Bear annuals were all like, I don't know if they were couplets, but you'd have 1 line so you'd have 1 line, 2nd line, 3rd line, 4th line, and then it would be on to the next bit. Rupert the Bear goes out today. He thinks he wants to go and play. He walks down the road, he sees his friend, and then they go towards the end. It was like that. Mixie says about books, I like those that are around 250 to 300 pages because I can finish in a day. I hate starting a book and spending ages reading to find out. Yeah. And also, I hate it when I'm actually in the book. Thank you. YouTube has just reminded me that Boaty is live in half an hour. At least I hope that was in half an hour. Yes, you're in the book. You're immersed in the book, and you're only kind of like a third into the book, and you've got real life things to do, things that you have to do. There's things that even if it's just you have to go to bed. When people say, "Oh, do some reading before you go to bed. That will help you sleep." No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I can easily get into bed, start reading, and still be reading at about 6 o'clock in the morning. And if that hasn't happened, I'm still reading until about 3 o'clock, and then I can't sleep because all I've got is the characters talking to each other in my head. And Minxie has just said, I have no chill, so I won't stop until I've done. I don't know how people manage to put one down. Reading won't help me. I just stay awake until morning reading. Exactly. Andrew Buttigieg says, oh, Rupert the Bear, I've got an annual here somewhere. Yeah, there's one that's particularly rare, and I can't remember what it's. It's either the first or the second. That looks like that's my nipples. That is not my nipples. Neither is that. Anyway, there is a rare Rupert the Bear annual, which I can't remember if it's 1, 2, or 3, but it's one of the early ones, and it's particular style of front cover and also a particular colour spine. Why am I pinged? What? Who's pinging? Hello? Oh. Minxie says, I've got a Rupert book called Rupert and the Wobbly Witch, which I used to joke was my biography. Oh, God! Yes. Anyone who doesn't know why I'm going, oh, yes. Minxie is a very witchy-woo type of person, and she is the widow of someone called Rupert. So Rupert and the Wobbly Witch, perfect. Excellent. I've got itchy nose. Right, let me just what's that? Right. Oh, I can't see round bloody thingy. Oh, and I'm scratching, but just it's my leg, all right. Yeah, I can see the I can see the joke, Minxie. I can see why that's very funny. Why can't I? If I press that, it's going to close. Don't make me do that. I want to move my thingy along. Oh, let's just use that one. I'm just making sure that I'm not. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear me. No. All right, yes, that's all right. We are not missing anything at Boaty's place just yet, because it starts at 11:30. So don't worry, guys. I shall be buggered off well before then. And someone's pinging me again. Excuse me. Oh. I've just been told that I look very pretty on here. Thank you very much. You are allowed to come and say hello, but I'll let you off. Andrew Buttigieg says, can't remember which annual it is. It's from the 70s. I can't remember. This was back in my eBay days, where, you know, back in the halcyon days of where you could go to boot sales, pick up bargains, and then flog them on eBay for like 10 times as much as you paid for them, because people generally couldn't be asked to go round boot sales, and eBay was the novel thing. Whereas nowadays it's so difficult. It's like flogging a bloody dead horse trying to sell anything on there. You actually have to start, generally on eBay, you have to start the item that you want to sell at the price that you want to sell it for, and then hope that someone either bids or bids it further up. You know, they might bid on it. They might bid on it, and somebody else comes along and bids, and you get a couple of extra quid for it. But there's not much other stuff out there, you know. You've got Vinted, which I think is picking up a bit, and there's no fees. And eBay is still kind of like the market leader at the moment. Rupert the Bear is called I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Roop Kahu here? No, sorry, that sounds wrong. Is it Roop Kahu or Rupee Kahu? Roop Kahu. Ah. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, well, guys, it's gone quite... Oh, Raw Pikahu. Oh, Raw Pikahu. Raw Pikahu. Oh, Raw Pikahu. International Rupert, yes. Well, guys, listen, it's gone quiet. It's gone quiet, and everybody is probably just watching either with amazement at my beauty, or watching with amazement how I've managed to talk for this amount of time without somebody pressing stop. But anyway, I will be back next Saturday. I will probably most likely do YouTube and Twitch at the same time. See, I love my sound effects over on Twitch. Thank you so much, Mickey. That was Mickey pressing the button for me. So I shall be back next Saturday at the same time. I did want to try and get a bit earlier, like start a bit earlier tonight, but I didn't. But I didn't manage to. Pan whistles, yes. Anyway, I'm going to go and cough in the corner over there. So thank you so much to my... Oh, and anybody who is here on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. Go and do that. Subscribe to my channel, please. And don't forget to like the stream. I'm always telling people, I'm going, make sure that you ask people to subscribe and like the stream. And of course, what have I done? Forgotten myself. So thank you so much to my subscribers and chatters on YouTube and my likers on YouTube. Thanks so much to the followers, chatters, subscribers, resubscribers on Twitch. Thank you to anybody who was lurking, watching, listening. Anybody who was here for whatever reason, thank you so much. Pingu has come in right on the last knockings. Hello, Pingu. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye, Simone. Good night. And see you across the internet somewhere. I'm always around somewhere. You know where I am. Discord, Twitch, YouTube, some live stream somewhere or another. Someone's pinging me again, right? And Mickey, at the very last, pops into YouTube and says good night. So good night all. Thank you so much. Pressing the buttons off now. And good night. Oh, now how do I stop this? There it is.